card, some special previews. We've got Conor Ben just sparring, channel boxing, just to our right-hand side here, ready to weigh in just a few moments' time.
10.5 stone limit, 66.6 kilos or 147 pounds. Introducing up right now from the Czech Republic, Josef Pepe Zahradnik. 10-2, 5 knockouts from Pilsen. Ladies and gentlemen, now making his way to the stage with his head trainer, Tony Sims. He's the son of a legend. He's undefeated, 13-0, 9 knockouts, fighting out of Ilford, ranked number 6 in the world by the WBA. Please welcome the reigning, defending, undefeated WBA Continental Welterweight Champion, Conor the Destroyer Ben.
Making a welcome return, Conor Ben against the 32-year-old Josef Zahradnik.
Josef Pepe Zahradnik.
He has fought for an IBO Intercontinental Super Lightweight title, losing unanimous decision to Jason Easton in 2017. Lost the WBF World Welterweight title by majority decision in his most recent fight to Zeno Mooley. Easton complimented his heart and ability to take a shot. Against this man, he's going to need that on Saturday.
Yeah, of course, because he can whack up. I know the pads don't hit back, but they can gauge how hard someone hits, and Conor Ben can whack, let me tell you that. And looks in great shape. He's raring to go, he really is. And I mean, the sparring that they have down at Tony Sims' gym is amazing. It's bringing him on at a really, really fast pace.
And he said at the press conference, he said, I may have had a broken hand, but he said, doesn't mean I haven't been training and keeping myself in shape, and the kind of conditions he's in tells you that he's ready to go again. As you said, that WBA ranking a little bit high, and it's probably not going to do him any favours certainly in the next 6 months.
He's still learning on the job. We know about his lack of amateur pedigree, but he is improving. Don't get me wrong, his mentality needs to change slightly. He bites down into gumshoe a little bit too much and wants to get involved, but his repertoire of punches are improving, his boxing IQ is improving. It's about him now transferring it from the gym. Similar to Dave Allen, I've seen how well he can train in the gym. I want to see him now do it on fight night. And the same with Conor. Make these fights a little bit easier for yourself. You don't have to get stuck in as much as you are, but like I said, he wants to entertain.
He does want to entertain. The man that will be weighing in shortly after him is one rank below him in the WBA rankings, and that's Josh Kelly, also of course the welterweight Commonwealth champion. And those two had a little back and forth of words. Conor saying, I'd love to fight him next.
I like the fight. A lot of people saying Kelly, he's just far too good for him at the minute, and that probably is the case. But again, with Conor, he's going to get touch tight to Josh, and he's going to force it, and he's going to try and make the best of a fight and entertain people. And I think a lot of people at the minute when they fight Kelly, they're a little bit overawed by his presence in the ring and what he does with his feet and his hands, and he's just such a good operator. With Conor, I think he'll just get touch tight and he'll just throw bombs. It excites me. I don't know why, but it does.
I just wonder whether that would need to be for a kind of big domestic title, the British, something like that, just to entice both of those guys and to make it worth their while too.
Yeah, do you know what? Like I said before, I don't think a defeat now is as bad as it used to be in the past. So, but look, I'll make you right. A big title on the line will make it far more appetizing.
22-4, 14 knockouts, fighting out of Barnsley. He's the former Central Area, English, and Commonwealth Super Featherweight Champion, Andy, the KO Kid Townend.
So this one,
and his opponent now making his way to the stage is with his head trainer, Tony Sims. This Commonwealth bronze medalist and 2016 Rio Olympian has a perfect professional record. 8 fights, 8 wins, 6 knockouts, fighting out of Cardiff, Wales. He's the reigning, defending, undefeated Commonwealth and WBA International Lightweight Champion, known as the Welsh Wizard, Joe Cordina.
One of Wales' most decorated amateurs, the 2014 Commonwealth Games bronze medalist, 2015 European gold medalist, Team GB, Rio Olympian as well, didn't medal, and he's had much success as a pro so far, WBA International Lightweight and Commonwealth Lightweight Champion from Cardiff, making his way to the scales, Joe Cordina. And you went to visit your old mate Mr. Kawasaki with him a week or so ago, didn't you?
When Joe meets Joe, and it was good, Joe, I thought it may be a little bit awkward them just talking, but it wasn't. You know, I thought Joe Cordina was very curious about Joe, wanted to ask him a lot of questions, and he did. And he really wants to emulate what Joe's done. I mean, it's a very tough task, but you know, who better to look up to? You know, a sort of local hero who's, you know, a Hall of Famer and done everything in the sport. And Joe's kind of he's in a hurry. Every time I talk to him, he really wants to be fighting for bigger and better things. You know, really wants to get going, and it's going to be tough holding him back, I think. You know, but when he's in the gym and when he's with Eddie, etc., I know he's always going on about, come on, can you get me this? Can you get me that fight? You know, he's very competitive and very talented. So could go all the way, Joe. You know, I sort of said a while back that he was my one to watch, just because I've been very impressed. You know, not a huge puncher, but as he's developing a little more and he's easing into this pro game, he's sitting down in punches a bit more and looking a lot more spiteful. But ultimately, it comes down to how skillful you are. You know, skills pay the bills, and that made me feel sick saying that. But you know, if they can't win, and Joe's very good at avoiding shots.
Well, his opponent on the right, Andy Townend, the KO kid, 29 years of age now, from Newmarket in Suffolk, who's of course held the Central Area featherweight title, the English super featherweight title, 22 wins, 14 by stoppage.
Cordina versus Townend, ladies and gentlemen.
One of Steffi Ball's fighters. He too represented England as an amateur at light welterweight. Ambition turning over was to win a British title, was stopped by Mike Joseph Ward.
Sorry, I'm laughing here. I've got Mike Goodall stood there, who does all the rings, and he's flicking bogeys at me. He's picking them and flicking them, yeah.
Can't you see this is a professional outfit? He knows it isn't. So Andy Townend and Joe Cordina, of course, for the British title, British lightweight title, will be fourth on the bill on Saturday Night Live at the O2. All of that to come Saturday night, Sky Sports Action HD at 7 o'clock. And of course, reminder that we will be here talking about it all 10:30 tomorrow morning. Set your alarms if you want, or just have a line. It's Bank Holiday weekend after all.
Put the laptop on your lap and off you go.
Championship. The weight limit for this contest, 10.5.
What do you make of Mr. Hayes' light blue blazer there? He scrubs up well, doesn't he?
He does.
This is a Nixon.
I don't think I can pull that off.
Are undefeated. Now from the
Same colour as your jeans, actually.
Yeah, I mean,
not as fitted, though.
No, not as fitted. I'm scared to bend down in case I get a big hole on my backside.
The crowd get a bit more than they bargained for.
Yeah.
And now making his way to the dais, please welcome with his head trainer, Adam Booth, 8-0, 6 knockouts, undefeated from Sunderland. Saturday night, he'll be making his second defense of his international title. He is the reigning, the defending, the undefeated Commonwealth and WBA International welterweight champion, ranked number 7 in the world by the WBA. Please welcome Josh Pretty Boy Kelly.
Well, listen, we know that the one thing that boxing fans have is a short memory, and as much as he got some stick after that late pull-out against David Avanesian at the end of last year, a good performance on Saturday night, and they'll be right back on side.
All forgotten about, and onwards and upwards, and everyone will be screaming and shouting about how great he is. Richie, you know, so far has looked. He looks fantastic, you know. Not against, you know, the best out there, but still, you know, the way he's looking in the gym and what we've seen of him so far, you don't know how far he could go. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of him. He looks, just looking at him on the stage, looks good. Looks sometimes looks quite drawn on the scales, I think.
What do you think the problem was last time? Because Shannon Courtney's in his camp, and she said honestly said he'd not been well for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But also just wonder whether knowing your wife is going to give birth any minute. They say stress can affect fat loss, things like that. Whether it was a weight issue, whether he was a little bit under the weather. There was that kind of back and forth as to Adam Booth wanting to change it from a 12-rounder to a 10-rounder last minute. Whatever it was, hopefully this is kind of not going to be a recurring issue at 147, because he doesn't look particularly a big guy at the weight, even if he finds it hard to make 147. It doesn't look like a guy that could just comfortably go and step up.
Derek Chisora winding me up there.
PDK, the undefeated Josh Pretty Boy Kelly.
Josh Kelly then.
There we go.
On the scales. Absolutely perfect this time, no problems.
Pretty Boy Kelly.
minutes to spare there, looking well on the scales too. His opponent looked in unbelievable shape as well, the Reaper, Przemysław Ranowski's 24 years of age from Poland.
Yeah.
17 wins, just 3 by stoppage, so you shouldn't expect the punching to trouble Josh, but to be honest, he's not a guy you're going to catch very cleanly anyway.
No, he's very elusive, isn't he? I mean, side to side, he's behind you, you know, he's all over the place, and that's one thing that we've seen with Lomachenko. You know, if your feet are good, sort of everything else follows, and he's got tremendous footwork.
We beat Alfredo Rodolfo Blanco for the WBC Youth Silver Super Welterweight title by unanimous decision over 10 rounds in April 2015. Maitreya for Youth Intercontinental Super Lightweight title by UD over 10 rounds in August 2016. Not fought since May 2018 though, due to a hand injury, but crikey, looks in really, really good shape.
Fighters 10 rounds for the WBA International Welterweight Championship, Ranowski and Kelly.
So these two then facing off for the WBA International Welterweight title that Kelly won, beating Carlos Molina in March last year, this time in 2018. Kelly looking a little bit drawn in the face, Darren.
But yeah, not as bad as, you know, where was the Venetian? Where was that again?
Listen, you often forget what day of the week it is.
I know,
no chance
right,
of you.
Where was we in the world?
I think it was up north somewhere. As you said, North Potter's Bar, that's all you need to know.
I think it looks far worse.
Newcastle.
Don't get me wrong, I know it was
Saturday night we will Knicks a nil at the O2.
I know they do a lot of the water loading, exactly, so they drop it at the last minute, but yeah, he does look slightly drawn, but not as bad as usual.
Did you used to water load?
No, never. It was always a gradual thing for me, and I get why some people say it's worse, but for me it was a tried and tested, always made the weight. So
the premise behind it, of course, is to hold on to as much muscle mass as possible until the very last minute.
Well, you know, when I was talking to Shannon, she said she had a few pounds to lose last night, and I couldn't have thought of anything worse than having to lose like 4 pounds.
Psychologically, right?
Yeah, I just wouldn't have wanted to do it. You know, I want to save my energy, you know, relax and let it, save it all for fight night, but what do I know?
Craig Richards is floating about in the venue as well. We had a really good finish to the year last year, that victory over Jake Paul, now right in the light heavyweight mix.
Baltic silver heavyweight titleist, Senad Gashin Gun Gashi.
I've just seen Dave Allen in the building, looking relaxed and looking well as usual. Senad Gashi just about to head onto the scales. As you heard yesterday, took that fight with Carlos Takam at 3 days' notice. There he is.
Fighting out officially the former British, Commonwealth, European, WBA International, and WBO International Heavyweight Champion, Derek Chisora.
Derek Chisora, an unlikely partnership with Dave Coldwell that has formed, and Coldwell said what a brilliant addition he's been to the training camp. Been fun to have around, great with his kids, so just brings that energy up, and obviously a big gap left by Tony Bellew in that gym too, so good for Dave Coldwell, Jordan Gill, Anthony Fowler, etc., who probably a bit down at the moment, to have a personality like him in the gym. And the one thing that Coldwell said, which I don't know about you, but I found a bit unusual, he said he listens to me.
Yeah. With the sparring that Dave Allen done up there afterwards, they had a sit down, Derek Chisora and Dave Coldwell, and you could see that relationship was solid from the off, and Gashi looks in good shape, doesn't he?
Well, great fun yesterday, wasn't he, at the press conference? He said, I've dreamt about this fight 10 times, he said 9 times I won, and once I got disqualified. A real good character, great addition to the card. Of course, took that fight against Carlos Takam really short notice, gave a great account of himself, and I think maybe he's given himself the belief that with a decent camp and a bit of tactical preparation, he can really make a dent in one of the 2 of the top Brits here.
Of course, I mean, look, that division under the top 4 or 3, you know, he's wide open, and Derek again looking in amazing shape, isn't he? You know, it's crazy. He really has rolled back the years here. I mean, even saying rolling back the years, I don't think I've ever seen him look as good as that ever, even in his early pro days.
29 wins to Chisora, 21 by stoppage, 9 defeats, but you know, he's been one of those fighters, we talk about their stock kind of dipping in points, but overall hasn't really dropped, even though he's lost several high profile fights, a little bit like Amir Khan, Martin Murray, people like Gabriel Rosado. Some fighters, when they're all action and they can deliver occasionally and they've got that knockout punch, that stock doesn't drop even if they lose?
Look, he's proved he's a very, very good fighter. He really is. And as long as you work hard, and obviously what he's doing now, he's taking it a lot more serious. It seems. You just look at the condition he's in, and that talent doesn't really leave you if you're paying attention to what you're doing.
Giving away cash at the open workout, wasn't he? To whoever did the most burpees, I think.
He was.
I wish I'd been there.
500 quid, I think it was.
Did you get involved?
I didn't want to show off and take the money off the poor little kids.
Have you still got it? Have you still got a bit left in the tank?
Should we have a burpee off?
I don't think so.
No.
Not in those jeans, anyway. And not in these trousers either, to be fair. I'm glass houses and all that. So Derek Chisora sent out Gashi chief support on Saturday night. No bad blood between these two guys. Both went to war with Carlos Takam. One was victorious, the other wasn't. Who will come out on top on Saturday night? That's going to be I think a really, really good fight in the offing.
Yeah.
It's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing and David Hay of Haymaker Promotions.
So I'm going to leave you now as I go on the stage and check it out. I'm joking.
Cheers, mate. Leave a man in the lurch. How are you feeling out of interest about Dave? I mean, this is the first time you will have essentially been attached to a fighter that you've had a real input. Is there any sort of pressure or nerves?
They look mixed emotions, the same as when I was fighting. You're apprehensive, you're nervous, you're scared, you're excited, a bit of everything. And I just want Dave to prove how good he is, because I don't want him to fall into this mould of being a gym fighter. Because he's better than that. We've seen it. Eddie's seen it. We've all seen it, that he can put his shots together in the gym. Now do it in the ring, and now he's got the opportunity to do it on the fight night.
And the shape he's in.
Taking place at the iconic O2 Arena here in London, England. It's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing in association with David Hay of Haymaker Promotions. All the action live and exclusive in the UK on Sky Sports and all across America on Dazn. It's now time to weigh in the main event of the evening. Now making his way to the stage, ladies and gentlemen, he's with his head trainer, Jay Gray. His professional record, an excellent 28 victories, only 1 defeat, 24 big wins coming by way of knockout. He's the former WBA regular heavyweight champion of the world, Lucas Big Daddy Browne.
Well, he said at the press conference, he said, we'll be best of friends until 10 p.m. Saturday night, and we'll be friends afterwards as well.
His professional record, 16, 4 and 2, 13 knockouts. Fighting out of Conisbrough, ladies and gentlemen, David White Rhino Allen.
Well, ever known somebody so excited to get their shirt off for a weigh-in?
Yeah, he hasn't been wearing it much the last few weeks. Honestly, he's constantly got it off. But yeah, he's in great shape, the best shape of his life, so why not?
The charge from Perth, Australia, the former WBA regular heavyweight champion of the world, Lucas Big Daddy Browne.
Well, certainly the leanest Browne has been for some time. Coming in there just under 250 pounds, which is 6'5", is a healthy weight for a man approaching 40, and he looks pretty strong. Does that worry you at all?
No, not at all. We've expected the best Lucas Browne, and I'm expecting the weights to be quite similar actually. I think they about between sort of 17, 7 and 17, 10, 12 would be perfect.
Well, he specifically asked for downlighting in York for this one. It's obviously career heaviest of 272 pounds, lightest of 232 pounds, so that somewhere in between, looking very, very healthy, nice and trim. And you know better than anybody, as you said, down in the best shape of his life. And you just couldn't ask for an opportunity for a nicer guy either.
Yeah, absolutely. He speaks the truth. He's a nice guy. He's got a good heart. He's not nasty in any way. And now I just want him to take this opportunity with both hands and make the most of it. Because I don't know, he don't know how good he can actually be.
So there they are, squaring off. Lucas Browne, a couple of inches in height. The difference, 6'5" to 6'3". Really good natured build up this one, no bad blood whatsoever, and they'll go back to that way after Saturday night. Good luck to both men, Dave Allen and Lucas Browne, the big headliners at the O2 on Saturday.
brought to you from Matchroom
Quick
Boxing.
question, do you know, has he spoken much to his dad in the last couple of weeks, David? Does it feel pressure? Because I know his dad has kind of spoken out publicly about him in the past and said that he's been
disappointed. We spoke to him in Liverpool, where he put the phone on to me, but not really, no. He wants to make his dad proud, he wants to do everything for his dad, but they don't talk that much. So yeah, they have been in contact, but not for a little while.
So Saturday night, a chance to make his old man proud, hopefully, you would think, as well.
Absolutely. He wants to do. He wants to make himself proud. I think first and foremost, he wants to understand how good he is, and we all want to know because there's talent there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for joining us here at Your Call.